So recently, I was feeling a little lost. As in, I think I was in this phase of an art block, and I've been in one for quite a while now. Basically, I started off as an artist, I think 7, 8 years ago, and it kind of transitioned into becoming a graphic designer as well. I started off my career as an illustrator, but it transitioned into graphic design, so I lost touch to art. So yeah, I am kind of in the phase where I don't know what to create anymore. So what I decided to make sure that I am still inspired to create, I decided to take up a course. I decided to, start from the very beginning. So I decided to take up look for a course, an art course, obviously, which teaches how to draw a face without looking at a reference, okay? Now I'm really good at drawing things when I have a reference around. Like I can just literally draw exactly what there is in the reference. So it's really easy for me to draw a face when I'm looking at a reference. Now, if you know me and you know my channel, if you've been on my channel, you know I'm a self-taught artist, okay? So I did not learn a lot of the fundamentals that you might learn in an art school, okay? So I decided, okay, this is exciting. This is just gonna give me that inspiration also. And I will finally know how to draw a face without looking at a reference. Not to say that I don't know how to do that, because I have tried to figure that out on my own quite a lot of times. I have videos on my channel teaching just that, where maybe I'm tracing over something to figure out how to divide a face and create a structure for a face and stuff like that. And I was drawing faces before this, yes. They looked good always. It's just that I just wanted something new. I wanted a new technique altogether, okay? So that's why I decided to take up a online course. And I'm not gonna obviously mention what course it is and where this course is posted right now. I don't want to reveal that. I don't want to put shade on the creator of this course. Of course not. So I'm not going to give you those details, but just keep on going with this video and you will know why I created this. I just don't want to give out any details just now. We're gonna look at some snippets from the course itself. I'm going to hide their face. I'm just gonna make sure that you cannot make out what course this is for sure, but I just want you to kind of just stick with this video, and let's just now look at some of the snippets that I have.
Creating a frontal portrait with accurate proportions can be challenging, but my simple system will be a huge help to get you started. So artists throughout the centuries have created drawings of skulls. This is a beautiful frontal skull drawing, starting with a simple oval. And you can see in this diagram here how...
So at this point, I was really excited because I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna learn how to draw a skull, and I'll be doing that without looking at a reference. And I did see that she had this tracing paper on over the original drawing, but at this point I was not really thinking anything, to be honest. I was just really excited that I'm just gonna learn something new. We are at this point giving her the benefit of the doubt and just following along, all right?
The vicinity of the bottom nose, and then from halfway between that line, the zygomatic arch is a forward plane, so it comes forward and curves back, curves down and in. And on this side too, curvature. So we have this idea of building from back to front or front to back.
Now again, at this point, I really appreciated her giving those little details as to how the structure goes, the oval, and how you divide the face into two, how you divide the bottom part of the face and everything else. Everything else she was saying after that wasn't really making any sense to me. I was not even listening to what she was saying, and it was not making sense to me in the sense that it was not really helping me out to just kind of learn in my brain as to how the structure is gonna go. The terminologies she used in this last snippet, it just wasn't really making sense because I was not looking for that. I was looking for, again, okay, now that you're drawing this curve around that face, how do I figure where should I be drawing that? You know what I'm saying? So it was not making sense, but as I said, said, I am really good at drawing things while looking at a reference, so I was able to draw what she was drawing.
And then really taking a look at the eye sockets once we get this overall shape in. The eye socket, a lot of times people just make round shapes, but in fact the eye sockets are downwards to each side. So you can see when I'm putting these straight lines in, you notice that there's a downward slant to the side. And again, drawing with straight lines helps me create that sort of geometry, that's downwards.
Now, yes, she ended up tracing over the skull, the original skull, and it didn't make any sense. I did end up creating the same exact skull that she drew. I'm just gonna show a picture. I just didn't understand how. Like, how do I create this from scratch? How do I create this without looking at a video or at a reference? Like, I was thinking those things, but at the same time, I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, it's okay. Maybe later on, she's just gonna, teach me how the facial structure goes. So I kind of went ahead and, again, I'm not gonna bore you guys with another snippet. She kind of did the same thing for the 3/4 view of the skull, and she did not really give any structure or any like guides that you can create on your own to create that skull. She kind of pretty much just drew over the already created skull, and she kind of traced over it. So at this point, I am like, all right, it's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and just learn how she creates eyes, even though I am really good at drawing eyes. Like, I just keep on doodling eyes. So I am really, really good at drawing eyes. So I don't really need any lesson on it. It's just that I just wanted to learn a new technique, as I said, just to come out of that art block zone. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and learn how she draws eyes. So we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at what technique she teaches us, okay?
Observing the eyes and visualizing them as a network of simple shapes will make it easier to draw them from multiple angles. Although I'm offering a simplified system for drawing the eye, every eye is different.
So when she said, okay, she's just gonna show us a simple system as to how to create eyes and how to actually observe them in shapes, that's what she said, right? So at this point, I was really excited to, again, I was like, oh my god, now I'm gonna learn the technique to draw eyes in this new way that I've never maybe tried, So I'm just gonna show you what she actually does.
The lids are these beautiful shapes depending on the eye you're drawing, and then the lid, depending on its shape, is gonna think about it, wrapping around the orb of the eye. The upper lid could have various sort of shapes. In this case, this lid comes around and comes down to this point, the corner of the inner eye here.
I just feel you know what I'm gonna say. Like, she literally just drew over that eye. She was just tracing over that eye. And in the intro, she was like, she's gonna give us a systematic something or a system that we can use to create eyes. But what system? Like, you're literally tracing over what you've already created. So I don't understand the point of this course. By the way, this person who's teaching all this is some professor in some art school. So I was really disappointed at this point. I was a little irritated because she was just tracing over stuff. Like, why post a course? Why come up with the course if all you have to do is trace? In the end, I was like, maybe I'm the only one who feels this way. So I went ahead and checked the reviews, which I should have checked before. Everybody was just saying the same thing. Why you're tracing over stuff? Like, what is the point of this course? Why have you created this course if all you have to do is trace? You could just literally created a course over tracing. That would have been better. I have videos on tracing, but I mentioned that, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to trace like a pro. I know it sounds weird, but I am upfront about what I'm doing in the video. So I was really disappointed because she did the same thing with the nose, with lips, and everything else. Like, pretty much everything she just traced, all right? And in the end, there was this section where the name of the section was putting it all together, something like that, where she was just gonna teach how to put all the so-called techniques she taught us and how to use all those and create a face, create a facial structure, create a proper face, okay? I'm gonna just show you that clip now.
So first of all, we're just gonna take a look at how sort of miraculous, how the skull actually fits her face sort of perfectly. And this idea of overlaying or pairing the features with the skull is really what we're going to be working with in this chapter. So you can see how the eyes, nose, and mouth are placed, and how just looking through the tracing paper here, you can really see how they start to shine through. And it's quite amazing how accurate it is. So before we get to that point, before we get to the actual drawing of the overlay, I want to talk first a little bit about the proportions. So from the frontal view, first thing that I do is I work in an oval, basic oval, which if you remember when we looked at the skull, this is exactly what we did. We did an oval, and this can be really lightly done just to guesstimate the overall shape of the face. Then we create a line of symmetry that comes down through the center that helps us with our symmetry on either side. And then from the top of the head, the very top, not the brow line, not where the hair meets the forehead, but actually way up at the tippy top. From here to the chin, if we find the halfway point, that's the region of the placement of the eye.
Can you really make out or understand what she's doing? Like the whole, the way she has divided the whole face. Can you really understand what she's doing? Like I cannot personally. I don't know what she's doing, to be honest. All I can make out from this is just divide the face in half and then divide the bottom part in half. That's the only thing I could make out.
Is that from the inner corner of each eye socket, of each eye, you can get a distance of an eye, and actually one eye fits in between the two eyes. So knowing that one eye, two eyes will help you not place the eyes too close together or too far apart. All right, so more cool stuff with the eye. You can draw a plumb line or just a line straight down to the region of the nose. And when you do that, it's going to give you sort of an estimate for where the outer part of the nostril might lay. So dropping a line from the middle of the eye down to the outer nostril, super helpful. Now it's going to vary, but gives you a ballpark.
This is for sure a helpful tip when it comes to drawing eyes and the nose, and how to know like how wide you want your nose to be and how far apart you want your eyes to be. So this is a good tip. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give her credit where I should be giving her credit, okay? But again, at the end of the day, she is still tracing over the skull she already has underneath that tracing paper. But yeah, a good tip. We're gonna keep on moving forward with this.
Coming from the region of the center of the eye, you can drop another line down, and that often gives you just about where the mouth terminates, the corner of the mouth. So that is a really nice way just to place the width of the features, the lower features. A couple of the things I want to point out from this diagrammatic view. One is the placement of the ear. So if you actually, on your own face, come back from the region of your eye and feel back for the top of your ear, you can kind of feel where that would be if your head is in sort of a neutral position. And then the same thing from the bottom of the ear, maybe coming back towards the mouth. So people often make the ear small or in the wrong place. So I've just sort of put a little hint of an ear here. We have the nasal aperture of the skull, but then the cartilage of the nose comes around that nasal surface of the skin.
So I didn't record the last clip that very well, but all she was doing was she was just drawing her daughter's portrait, but she already had that portrait underneath that tracing paper. She also already had that skull structure. So basically she was just tracing over that drawing she already created. So my point is, why create a course? Why even post a course? And then keep on, adding these introductions where you're saying, I'm gonna give you some system, I'm gonna teach you how to observe an eye in the form of shapes and how to use those to create a face, and why even post a course if all you're gonna do is just trace over stuff? That is not helping anybody out. So it was a really irritating course that I ever took in my entire life, to be honest. I have never taken, honestly, I've only taken one or two courses around art in my life. It was way better than this one, to be honest, but it also did not really help me that much. All I'm trying to say is either you are not giving us the real techniques that you actually use to create the portraits, or it's just how you teach. So the reason why I wanted to make this video was just to ask you guys if that's how you're being taught in art schools. I'm pretty sure you're not. I'm pretty sure this is just an online course, but that's the reality of online courses around art in general, right? Like if you know some good art courses, you can let me know. Like, I would love to explore those, specifically if those are around, drawing faces and anatomy, or human anatomy. I would love to learn that. But the thing is, I bought this course and I did not get the value that I wanted out of it. So it's like time and money wasted. So yeah, I just want to know what you guys think about online courses. I used to think I am not giving enough value on my channel, but after taking this course, my channel literally feels like a whole art university in itself. I have so many tutorials and I've covered so many topics, and I've like tried my best to give out value, like absolutely free. So I used to think I am the one who's not giving out enough value in my content, but after watching or after taking this course, obviously it felt like that I did my best. Again, no shade on this person. Maybe she's not really giving out the real things, the real teachings that she does in the university she teaches in. But again, why then sell a course if that's the case? Do not create a course if you don't want to give out your secrets. Or maybe that's just how you teach. Then if that's the case, that's really unfortunate. I really feel bad for your students then. So yeah, let me know what you think about this whole topic in general, like online art courses and whatnot. And let me know if you are somebody who's in art school. Let me know if that's how you're being taught or not. Maybe I'm not, maybe I'm wrong. I was just wondering. The next thing is, what about how am I going to learn now to create faces without using a reference? I'm still learning it. I'm using Pinterest and there are so many good like guides as to how to draw faces. So I'm learning it, and I guess I recently posted a short video around that also. And the technique that I learned from Pinterest itself is really good, and it's really helping me out when it comes to drawing faces without using a reference. So I'll be sharing that. I'll be creating a whole, a separate video on how to draw faces from scratch without using any reference, and the front view, 3/4 side view, and everything else. And I am going to teach you. I am going to give that value out for free because that's what I was struggling with, and I don't want you to struggle with that if you are a self-taught artist. I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is not the kind of video I usually do on my channel, but yeah, I kind of wanted to kind of bring this up and just kind of wanted to know what you guys think. And have you ever taken a course which was similar to this one, where you literally wasted your money and you didn't really get anything in return? Okay, so I want to know. I'm really curious. So other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.